All right, here we are. Finally have the adapter for the airflow sensor that'll come off of the air box that'll go to the intake and go to the airflow sensor. I'll put a part number in there. It took me a little bit to figure this out. I'll put it in the link, so if you guys wanted to order one, you can find the right one there. I'm going to put this cold air intake on. Wish this was a little larger. I'll probably swap it out eventually. So with that, the next step is to pull these two bolts out. We'll remove the stock air box. You'll see I have a bracket all set up, and we're going to reuse. I don't know if you can see in there. There's a little. I have the original hardware to mount. I think the fairing mounted in there. So a little square nut will slide in the back there. I have the screw, and we'll mount it in there, and we'll see how this looks. A little overview of how this is going to go together. This is the hose adapter that I ordered. The original clamps from the original airbox hookup. They do fit over here. They're a little tight, but that's fine. This internal diameter of those was a little tight, but it was good. It's a good, secure fit. I actually debated about even putting a hose clamp on there, but given heat change and so close to the engine, I have it out. Why not? This hose clamp was almost a little too small. You see it's right at the edge, but the inside diameter of this is just a tad bigger than what's coming off of the intake. So this clamp will be necessary, and it's important to note you're going to want to have your the screw heads facing out in a nice direction where you can get at them to tighten them up and whatnot. So this is how this is going to lay in here. I got the 90-degree bend, so it's going to go forward this way, and this was the stock piece that sat on the front of here. It took those just 4 Phillips screws out, and we're going to reuse those screws right in the front there to secure the cold air intake to the airflow sensor. And from there, I'm going to mount the bracket right now, and I'm going to actually keep this off until I get the bracket mounted just for ease of use, but wanted to just show the layout here. So I had thought I had figured this all out. This was supposed to flip the other way. I had a bracket that was going to fit in here. However, I didn't account for the shortness of the cable to the sensor. So I flipped it upside down. It is tight. You can't see it in there, but the brackets are tight. And for the most part, it is, it takes a little bit of force to actually move that around. However, I do want it to be 100% secure. Nobody needs this thing flopping off and flying off on the highway when you're doing 80, 90 miles an hour. So, you can see the screw holes here where the original air, the intake screwed into the side of the radiator here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have a nice little piece of carbon fiber I'm going to cut out. I'm going to make a little brace that goes from this bottom screw here, you can see here, to this. It should be a nice straight line. So I have a piece of carbon fiber here. This is just the plastic protective covering over it. I put some painter's tape on it on the other side to keep it from scratching, and then I've just to give it a little bit of, make it a little more rigid. I have just a real thin piece of, like pine wood. So I'll cut it. Got a hole here, I'll drill. Hole there that we'll drill to fasten it, and then we'll just round the corners off a little bit. Okay, I have the carbon fiber stabilizer cut out. The next step is to remove all these screws. I have the bottom one there out, and because there's going to be a lot of vibration going on, oops, we're going to take this Loctite blue, which ironically comes in a red container, the 243, and we're going to just put a little on the threads of each of those, keep it in place, throw out all the vibration, and I'll be back in a moment with it all mounted. Okay, I figured I'd wait until daylight hours to get this in the sun to really show off the somewhat finished assembly here. I did make this little carbon fiber strip there to just give this guy a little bit more stability, although I mean it does seem pretty stable. I might make a second one and connect it there. We'll see. But yeah, it's a little wet here. I just washed it, so I gotta dry that off yet. So that's the cold air intake. You can see I'm on this guy sideways, enough room for that. What I didn't realize was how much dirt and grease was gonna be inside there. So I hit just a little bit of engine bright, and that did not, I'm gonna have to scrub it out a little more. But all that being said, pretty happy with the final product. So what is next? Not quite sure, but stay tuned in, like, subscribe, and I'm sure we'll find something else to do here. Thanks for tuning in.